evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and in tonight's top stories we do something rather different. We turn to the mainland, Texas, where Alan Stanford has been charged with over $8 billion in investment fraud. News Channel 8's Glenn Drake reports.
Well, Jerome, U.S. regulators accuse R. Alan Stanford of running a massive ongoing fraud through his Houston-based Stanford Group company, while selling about $8 billion in certificates issued by an affiliated bank in Antigua. Stanford International Bank touted improbability, if not impossible, returns, and the Securities and Exchange Commission said today in a complaint filed against him. This is coming from the Bloomberg report. Stanford firms he controls two colleagues. A federal court in Dallas agreed to freeze assets and appoint a receiver to account for investors' money. The SEC has been investigating Stanford Group since last summer over sales of the certificates. The inquiry intensified after the December arrest of the New York money manager Bernard Madoff, who allegedly confessed to masterminding a $50 billion fraud in which early investors were promised steady returns and paid with the money later participants. Private equity property, Stanford selling the certificates through a network financial advisors, told clients their funds would be placed mainly in easily sellable financial instruments, monitored by more than 20 analysts and audited by regulators in Antigua, the Caribbean nation, and the SEC. Stanford's group alleged fraud was limited to the sale of certificates of deposit. The SEC claimed since 2005, SCG advisors sold more than $1 billion of a proprietary mutual fund wrap program named Stanford Allocation Strategy by using materially false and misleading historical performance data, according to the SEC complaint. The allegedly false data helped the program grow less than $1 million in 2004 to more than $1.2 billion, generating fees exceeding $25 million. Now, as you know, Stanford here in the territory is getting ready to do some major projects. And, of course, we will do a second-part report on this as we do a follow-up tomorrow on tomorrow night's newscast to keep you posted on, of course, the progress of what's going on and how it's going to affect us locally. For News Channel 8, I'm Glenn Drake reporting.
Thanks, Glenn, and we will be bringing you updates on that information as it arrives to News Channel 8. We turn now to St. Thomas, where Lee Carl gives us an update on the double homicide in Mundal.
With all the activities, President's Day, the weekend, perhaps the continuing saga of the Mandel slayings may have slipped through the cracks a little bit, but here is sort of an update on what happened in court. The VI Superior Court Judge Leon Kendall has upheld the order by his counterpart, Superior Court Judge James Carroll III, to detain without bail Neville Potter, the man accused of the brutal February 8th slayings of Marvis Chamorro and John Jack Deal in Mandel. As you recall, we were on a scene there. It was near the old Mandel abandoned restaurant building that the incident apparently took place. The information we have is Potter, a 30-year-old man from Bavoni, arrested Friday afternoon on charges of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, first-degree assault, possession of an unlicensed firearm during the commission of a crime of violence, after two of the six eyewitnesses identified him in a photograph rundown. Chamorro, that is Marvis Chamorro, was in a car with one of the witnesses that fatal afternoon. They traveled along the road to Mandel Beach and stopped in an area beyond the former Mandel Inn, which is sort of like a cul-de-sac or a paved circle. He may have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. A blue Toyota Corolla with tinted windows, heavily tinted windows, came toward the spot where they were parked, stopped about 25 feet in front of the vehicle. The driver of the Corolla opened the door and yelled out to Chamorro and his companion, "Get out of the car." They did not get out. The man then came to out of the Corolla, pointed a gun toward Chamorro and witnesses and said, "Get out of the car." Chamorro and his friend did come out of the vehicle, and the man began shooting at them. They ran through the bushes. Chamorro, as he was hit, fell down a short precipice. His body was recovered by St. Thomas Rescue. The witnesses ran toward a yellow house and stayed until hiding until a white car pulled up. Witness asked the driver of the white car to call the police. Less than a few hours after that, after the shooting, the witnesses viewed a photo array, positively identified Neville Potter as the attacker, and a second witness called for help. when he saw the white man identified as John Deal lying in the concrete in the driveway next to some palm trees. The witness and the father put Deal in the back of the truck and drove him to the Snyder Hospital. Second witness, shown in a photo array, positively identified Neville Potter as the person climbing up the hill immediately after the shots were heard. The third eyewitness at home heard several shots. He said, and the witness saw Deal running with one side of his shirt looking red, followed by a black man with dreads and braids wearing a black shirt. The witness heard another shot. Deal fell and tumbled. Witness ran downstairs and heard 3 more shots. And there was a fourth and fifth witness, apparently, who heard the shots. The sixth person who assisted the investigation heard the 4 shots. And the detective said Potter is known to drive a vehicle similar to the one described. Potter's arraignment is set for February 26th. Deal of Mandel died within hours of arriving at the Snyder Hospital. Chamorro died on the spot. They both suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Medical examiner Dr. Francisco Landron provided the autopsy report of the 2 men and concluded Deal died from the gunshot wound to the head. Chamorro's death was caused by multiple gunshot wounds, and no possible motives of the shooting have been made clear at this point as the detectives and the police try to figure out what happened. Were these 2 men in the wrong place at the wrong time when this blue Toyota drove up, possibly concerned about whatever stash they had, maybe in the old abandoned Mandel Inn, and thought these people were here to take it away, and then the shooting occurred? Or was it some other aspect of this case that we haven't heard about yet? We have to wait and see. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel.